Hello, hello, and welcome back after like 2 months. I don't remember where I am. This is Oz Mafia, and I'm Sharon. Hi. Coffee let's play. Because, you know, I shouldn't drink all the time. Excuse my sips, it's hot. Let's get to it. Load game. I also realized that I could have had her on display the entire time. I'm heated. Yeah, so I like to load save file. My neighbors have been very active lately, so you might hear either kids downstairs or people across from me. Who knows? They're just here. Hey! I could have swore I hit display. Oh, it's in the third person. Never mind. Oh, let's get that over here. Her stomach grumbled the moment she made it back to her room. Yeah. Oh, look at that worried face. Oh, she's so cute. I wish I had her here the entire time. Oh. What was her voice? Oh, no. She was like Hinata kind of style, right? Like, I guess this is what they call playing the martyr? That wasn't a question. Why'd I say it like that? Oh, her face. But I can't eat at a time like this. I can't just forget about Mr. Axel. Oh, that's right! Oh, he's dead. Is he dead? I think he's dead. We ran away. Because I chose Scarlet. She took off her shoes and lay on the bed. Lie on the bed? Feeling something underneath there, she sat back up. Oh, Mr. Axel's cookies. She'd forgotten she had them. Both the wrapping and the cookies inside had been crushed. I bet Mr. Axel is hungry. Why do Mr. Kamiya and Mr. Kairi talk about Mr. Axel like that? She was perplexed and saddened by how they were so much colder and less kind to him than they were to her. If only I hadn't been there, Mr. Axel wouldn't be. Oof, why'd I do that? She gulped as a vortex of guilt engulfed her. Aw, sweetie, don't do that. Mr. Caesar was chasing me, after all. I wonder if I can save Mr. Axel if I go to Mr. Caesar's camp. Please don't. I'm sorry, I'm just interrupting the story. I don't want her to leave. She's doing dumb anime protagonist things. She shook her head, trying to shed her anxiety that Axel might already be. If I can save Mr. Axel, then I should go find Mr. Caesar. Why does everyone have a mister for you? By the way, I have this dope mug that's Midoriya and Todoroki from My Hero Academia. And when it heats up, it shows like the other two pictures of them on the side. It's amazing. Sneaking out of the mansion was easier. Sneaking out of the mansion was even easier than Rose had thought it would be. Maybe it was because it was Sunday evening, but the town was just as busy now as it had been earlier in the day. If I remember correctly, to get outside, it was a right once I get off Oz Street. She put her hand on the tower and remembered the map as she looked around. Right, this way. Oh, she's so determined. This is gonna be bad. We're gonna get eaten by wolves. I finally got out of town. She made quite a few wrong turns, but she'd eventually found her way past the walls. If I made wrong turns then, I would not make my way back. She wondered if everyone lived inside the walls. Even though the town had been so crowded, the area around her was completely deserted. When did I start? Oh no, okay. 20 minutes from now. That's the forest Mr. Kamiya and Mr. Kairi mentioned. She took one... Oh no, I spat on my screen. Oh, I'm gross. She took one of the 2 streets leading out of town. Once she got over a small hill, she could see a thick patch of forest. She was all alone and going to an unfamiliar place. She'd be lying if she said she wasn't afraid. You can do this, Rose. She made a fist and cheered herself on. With the breeze from the hill playing with her hair, she began to make her way into the forest. This is such a bad idea. Oh, look at this place. The moonlight she'd been relying on earlier was now obstructed by treetops. The leaves of the trees were in constant motion. Was it the work of the beasts or just the wind playing tricks on her? Rose made her way further into the forest as her eyes acclimated to the darkness. It turned out that even through the canopy, the faint moonlight was still enough to light the way. I can see a lamplight, and I hear voices. She didn't know who the voices belonged to. It sounded like several men. Hey, you. Don't ever do that again. She turned around, startled by the voices behind her. Oh, no! Oh, you're the woman our leader's been looking for, ain't you? Oh, no, me? Not at all. Leader? Do you mean Mr. Caesar? Coffee. I came to surrender myself to Mr. Caesar. I want to save Mr. Axel and... Oh, really? A vulgar smile appeared on the man's face as he grabbed Rose's arm. I need to stop these noises. That's not the noise of surprise. He dragged her towards the lamplight. She was terrified and wanted to run, but the grip on her arm was so strong that she couldn't get away. Hey, y'all. Y'all. Hey, y'all. The prey came to get caught. About 10 men were sitting around the roaring fire. Instantly, they stopped their drinking and merrymaking to stare at Rose. Young man, there's no need to be down. Now that's interesting. Better tell Mr. Caesar right away. He said he'd be out until morning. Oh yeah? I thought there was something like that. Then how about we get a taste beforehand? Before we hand her over to Mr. Caesar. Cut it out. What if she's a pure maiden? The boss will tear your limbs, like tear your limb from limb. God, it's so hard to read those things for some reason. Let's tie her up with the other one. Is Mr. Axel... Now, no need to hurry. You'll see him soon. She was tugged along by the arm as they cut right in front of the bonfire. A skinned rabbit on a spit was cooking over it. The charred mass beside it had already been a rabbit too, once upon a time. The smell of blood and burning flesh made Rose turn away. Ow! Just a taste couldn't hurt, right? Right, little lady? Oh no. Drunk man reached out and grabbed her calf as she tried to walk by. The sensation of his rough skin against her sent a chill down her spine. Please stop. Let her go unless you want the leader to kill you. Be a good boy and make do with the horrors in the slums. Oh, give me a break. What if I catch something? Do better then, you fuck. I think dying from disease would be preferred. Let's read that again. I think dying from disease would be preferable to getting tortured to death by the leader. Fine. She felt slightly relieved when he finally let go of her leg. Of course, she couldn't be completely relaxed in her current situation. All she could do was keep walking forward as the hand on her arm dragged her along. The rabbit meat cooking in the fire crackled and popped ominously. Would it be a weird smell? Like, oh, the smell of blood and burning flesh, but wouldn't it be the same smell as just cooking meat? Just like, it'd just be cooking. I mean, blood is disgusting. Like, if it was, like, completely raw, it's really gross smelling, but... Meanwhile, just as Kairi is about to step into the kitchen, a soldato stopped him. That means a soldier, doesn't it? He told Kairi that several reports had arrived before handing him a stack of memos. That sure didn't take long. Kairi took the papers with one hand and dismissed his subordinate with the other. He leaned against the wall and glanced over the pages. My, how selfish. He put the pages in his back pocket and then pulled a wine glass from the cabinet and poured himself some water. Didn't get a normal mug. They're in the background. I see them. He wrapped the glass in a silk handkerchief to avoid getting his gloves wet. My dude, you bougie as fuck. I don't know. Crimea, about the situation. Let's see if my pen will work. Fuck. My laptop's so far off to my left. Nothing answered him but the sound of slow, steady breathing. When he walked over to the sofa, he found Crimea sleeping soundly. How dare he? Kairi sat down on one of the sofa's rests, taking a sip of water. Then he slowly tilted the glass over, just above sleeping Carmia's head. Whoa! Good morning. If you keep falling asleep right after you eat, you'll soon become rather... a rather rotund lion. Rotund. Why you... Couldn't you have woken me up a little more gently? The only reason I didn't use tomato juice or milk is because I wanted you to think I was being... That. I know the word, I just can't read it. Kairi tossed his handkerchief he'd wrapped around his glass at Carmia. The Don used it to wipe his face off before glaring back up at him. Things appear to be moving as we'd anticipated. I see. How's it look? Can't say for sure yet. I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out with my capabilities. I don't know. Oh. I don't know what I'd do without you, Kairi. I don't either. Of course, I don't intend to kill myself over such matters. You guys suck. Neither of you notice I'm gone. Be a good girl. Making a fuss ain't gonna do you any good. I should move. Excuse all the rattling. I'm moving my coffee to the other side. And there's a lot of things on the other side. Like my friends. 10 points to that reference. Ow. Oh, look at that beautiful face. Is it beaten up? Oh, my poor baby. Why are you here? I wanted to save you, Mr. Axel, but then they caught me. What do you think I was buying time for? It was so you could get back to the mansion safely. I know that, but Mr. Carmia and Mr. Kairi said that they weren't going to help you. They weren't in the wrong. That was the natural decision. Please don't say that. Aren't you all close friends? It's my fault this happened to you. I just couldn't stand by and do nothing. So I came to talk to Mr. Caesar. I was going to ask him to take me and let you go. Did you really think you could just negotiate with these people? Well... You're an idiot. Can you not imagine what hell they might put you through? I know everything's going to be okay. I was alone in the beginning anyway. Familia Oz has done so much for me. I just wanted to bring you home, Mr. Axel. Guest? I do not approve. Huh? I protect the familia with all the familia with all my body and soul. Those are the rules. Not only are you a guest, but the Don instructed me to treat you as a member of the family. You are not alone. I can't say your actions were even remotely worthwhile, but I do appreciate the sentiment. Mr. Axel? Sounds like something's happening. Hex yeah. Greetings, campfire's looking nice. Shit. My bad. Shit. You're the Oz's. Oh no. It's the day of rest, so you better put those weapons down. I hear one of my subordinates and my dear guest are joining you by the fire. For both our sakes, why don't you just hand them over without making a fuss? It ain't up for discussion. Like the wolf gang is soft enough to give up its prey. I see. Well, excuse me. Well, I guess you leave me no choice. It's too late to change your minds now. Brace yourselves, little puppies. Whoop-yow! Pshoo! Ka-chow! Aw! Fuck you. I mean, not both of you, but like Gretel. Fuck Gretel. I remember you hating me and stuff. Familia Grimm here. Oh, that was actually Familia Grimm here. Familia Anderson. Oh, which one is you talking? I can't remember if you're. Familia Anderson is here. I don't remember anyone's name. Familia Boots here. Familia Adele Hill present as well. Familia Oz. Familia Oz, assume your positions. Surely even denizens of those slums are aware of the Sunday compromise. And you know, it's not just some flimsy verbal promise. It's something that, when violated, brings some very severe consequences. The compromise doesn't exclusively apply to mafia. All violence in town is prohibited. I will not abide by violations of the law. I sure don't care as long as I get to... what the fuck? She's so cute, but this voice is gonna kill her. I sure don't care as long as I get to use my new gunpowder formula. Addie, we're in the middle of the forest. Please be careful. I don't know how to do the voices for big people. Well, I mean, she would still have a normal voice, so what am I speaking of? But, oh, she looks so in charge. I could give her a southern voice. I really don't remember what she had. Why have you called me out here in the middle of the night? Peter, hurry up and get this mess cleaned up. Hey, Peter. It is precisely midnight. The day of rest seems to have come to an end. All right. In the name of compromise, eliminate these lawbreakers. My coffee is losing its heat. Beat their ass! Save me! Get her. Yes. Yes, please untie me. Ribbit. Oh, you're so far back. weren't you?
Familia Anderson's concierge, Melissus? And this is our intelligence operative, Romeo.
Ribbit, ribbit.
If you're here, does that mean those gunshots were part of the cleanup? Indeed. You, sir, were not the only offender.
Offender? What do you mean?
Either way, things seem to have quieted down. Yeah, let's go, guest. Call me Rose. Call me my name. Axel picked his jacket off the ground and put it over Rose.
Mr. Axel?
You don't want to see the corpses, do you? Oh. Sure I do. Axel put his hand on her back and started guiding her across the clearing. Even with her vision obstructed, she still felt the discomfort. The smell of singed flesh, a rusty metallic smell. The footsteps were clearly more numerous than she expected from the number of men she'd seen. She could hear the sound of tearing flesh and breaking bones. Pained groans, anguished wails. On the other side of the cloth was a world grayer and dimmer than she could have ever imagined from the inside of the town. Welcome back, Axel. Rose. You both seem none too happy with me.
Mr. Crimea. Mr. Kyrie.
You are extremely foolish for sneaking off into enemy territory without so much as a word.
I'm sorry. Familia boots. No casualties. We're withdrawing.
Looks like Familia Anderson's already gone home. We'll head back to town, too. Good. Thanks for coming.
We're just abiding by the compromise. Good evening.
Peter killed... I'm trying to do this. Peter killed... Bleh! Peter killed like 2 or 3 people, but they were all those dogs' underlings. That's not a problem, right? Indeed. The Undertaker will handle it from here.
Oh, what a relief.
Though really, I'm the one who saved you, so don't act like you're the one doing me a favor. We're leaving, Peter. Peter, talk to me. I would like words from you. Well, I guess all that's left is us. Axel, you understand that Axel, you understand what you've done, don't you? Axel nodded, then got down on his knees, his back still straight as an arrow.
Mr. Axel?
He showed no reaction to Rose calling his name, and instead just looked back at Kyrie. Show some respect.
Ugh!
Kyrie kicked Axel's shoulder hard, knocking him down to the ground. Carmilla pulled the pistol from his holster at his hip and pointed it at his chest.
Mr. Kyrie!
Oh, wait, no. Did it say Kyrie? Did Mr. say Carmilla? I don't remember what it said. I just said a name. Stay out of this. Or I probably said Mr. Carmilla. Basically trying to stop him.
But...
Oh, did I get him killed? Oh no, the moonlight streaming through the trees shone on Kyrie's back. Drawing his pistol, he narrowed his ice blue eyes and took aim at Axel's brow. Axel, explain why you're being disposed of. I violated the compromise and used the weapon. Did he? When did he do that? Very good. Now accept your sentence. Oh my god! Oh.
Morning already?
Warm sunlight streamed through the windows outside. She could hear birds chirping. It was almost as if the previous night had just been a dream.
Mr. Axel!
What's wrong? Not even a good morning? You called?
Mr. Axel?
She patted Axel down. Or Rose patted Axel down.
He's not a ghost. He's alive. I'm so glad you're okay, Mr. Axel.
What are you doing? Let me go, please. Oh, what's wrong? When did you two get so close and touchy-feely? She's the one who hugged me. I have nothing to do with this. Now, please, let me go.
Sorry. My mind just went blank after Mr. Kyrie's shot and Mr. Axel.
Or no.
My mind just went blank after Mr. Kyrie shot Mr. Axel.
I didn't shoot him. How many times do I have to say it for you to understand? Dog, how am I supposed to not know? I heard a gunshot and I thought this dude dropped.
Mr. Kyrie.
I didn't shoot Axel. I shot the ground. Do I really seem so callous that I'd just kill a friend like that?
I think you do.
You do. It'd be weirder if he didn't. It almost sounds like praise in a 3-part harmony like that.
If you weren't trying to shoot Mr. Axel, then why?
Take a look at this. Kyrie interrupted Rose by pulling a scrap of paper from his pocket and handing it out to her.
Familia Grimm. Familia Grimm. Cleaning the main street. Familia Anderson. Buying 11 dozen matches?
They're punishments from each familia for Axel's violation of the compromise. Of the compromise. By all rights, we should have had some of our territory seized, but I did what I could to reduce the sentence to this level. Considering how much trouble I had to go through, it's only natural that I'd want to shoot the source of it all.
So he really did want to shoot him.
Axel, don't worry about patrolling today. When you're done eating, take some soldati with you to the Grimm mansion and ask them for cleaning instructions. Understood. Also, no sweets for a week. Is that part of my punishment for violating the compromise as well? Of course not. This is your punishment for making us worry. Understood. He's alive. Mr. Axel will have to wait. We're gonna save here. Cool beans. And with that, I feel like I've recorded too long. Catch you on the flip side. I'm so happy he's alive. Bye.